What's up, everyone? Clemson dominates South Carolina, Texas A&M tumbles in the rankings, injuries shake lineups, and bold takes are flying. Let's get right into it here on our newest episode of Touching All Bases. As usual, I'm your host, Maura Kane, with my amazing panel, per usual, Kaden, Riley, Drew, Katie, and Jackson. Now let's get right into it. First up, we have the show before the show. In recent news, Clemson sweeps South Carolina. A clean sweep domination, whatever you want to call it. It happened. Panel, what are the biggest takeaways from this Tigers performance?
I mean, sweeping an undefeated team, how about that?
And it's our rival.
Not even.
I'll give him credit.
And not only sweeping an undefeated team, but
Not even at home.
South Carolina.
Sweeping Carolina is
Not even all the way at home. Like,
Yeah.
we played one game at home and then neutral, which I would say, would it lean more towards South Carolina and Greenville?
No.
No, you would lean more towards
Greenville's
Greenville.
But still,
We're from Greenville. Greenville's
but
Greenville's like an
we
hour away.
still went to Columbia and still finished out the
Greenville's
sweep.
45 minutes from Clemson, 90 minutes from South Carolina.
Finishing out a sweep in Columbia, like finishing out a sweep at all is hard to do.
I guess
but
your rival is even harder.
in Columbia.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Yeah, sweeps and rivalry games, you don't really see it that often because one side always gets one at their home
Yeah, it's
field.
scrappy.
And the fans
Yeah.
are all scrappy and pissy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was definitely a big boost considering in the fall we just got absolutely dominated by Carolina in every sport we played. So it's great to see them sweep them in baseball. I mean, the sport they're supposed to be good at, supposedly. So it's a great feeling.
They own the fall, we own spring, I guess, this year.
I guess so.
I guess it was just never the case, yeah. I want to highlight some other sports, though, because Clemson sports is just on a tear right now. Riley wrote an amazing article about it on the Tiger. But right now, men's basketball just tied a program record for longest win streak in their program's history, and also the most they've tied the most regular season wins. Our softball is on a 14-game win streak since Riley said that we're having a bad season.
Yeah,
We've
I was
won
like,
4
this team is
in the
so
last 2
trash.
weeks.
I was like, this team is so trash. We started out 3-6, and now we're 17-6.
Riley, you've been to like half of them. How is it? How are we doing?
They I also wrote an article about the softball team. It'll be out later tonight. But
So yesterday.
Yes. Yeah. The team they get on the board super quick. They put up like 4, 5, 6 runs an inning, like home runs. Like the whole entire lineup is just full of power. Can hit one out, can slap it into the gap. It's just like crazy to watch. Like there's really no slowing this team down, and like the chemistry is there. Everyone has so much fun. It's really fun to watch.
Softball's won 14 straight. Baseball, of course, has swept the Cox.
10 in a row.
Both tennis teams, 10 in a row. Both tennis teams are ranked, and my hero, Bree Clark, did the Biles in gymnastics. Like, it's an incredible stretch right now.
Why is she your hero?
Because she did the Simone Biles thing. I was just trying to be nice. I don't know.
my God.
I learned who she was when she did that.
I forgot to mention that in the article.
Really? You throw it in. You got time.
Should I text Griffin?
Yeah, he's in the room right now, so.
Go get him right now. Bring him on the show.
Sorry. Go there and go talk to him.
Well, anyways, Maura, what is our next point?
And the rankings have been shaken up this weekend. Number 1, Texas A&M fell to number 24 in the Division I baseball rankings. Is this just a slow start for A&M, or are they just not as good as they look on paper?
You know, I am a big A&M fan. Grew up an Aggie, so this is sad for me. I had them at number 1 going into the season, and here they are now at number 14. But I was looking
24.
into their losses. What?
I think I said 24. I meant 14. My bad.
Close. You get the point.
Let's just start over.
24 could please. 24 could be deserved too, honestly. But anyways, I was looking into some of their losses, and they had a ton of games with blown saves. So their one pitcher, Clayton Freshcorn, which I think is a
That's not a real name.
is quite the last name, Freshcorn.
Oh my God. I thought that
Anyways, there were 2 games that he went into pitch in the 9th inning when A&M had the lead, and he blew both leads and let up like 2 or 3 runs. And so I was, if they didn't have those blown saves, they would have a 9-3 record, which would be a lot more respectable. So I think overall they're still a pretty solid team. There's just a few weak links that are like really showing themselves and really having a big impact on the games.
I don't think that blown saves is a super consistent stat though. Usually it seems pretty volatile. So I think that I don't know a ton about Texas A&M. I did my research a little bit here, but I think that if blown saves is the issue, that's a good issue to have. If you're going to be struggling, I want to be struggling in something that's not as volatile and not as consistent.
Yeah,
that should regress back to the mean. And I feel like Texas A&M's they might not be as good as we thought they were, but I think that they're going to do better.
No, I think they're really struggling with their pitching. If you go and you look at the games, most of these games are having 2-3 pitchers come in. A&M, some of their players are not even getting a singular out before they have to be pulled. So I don't know what's going on with their pitching, where that's stemming from, if it's stemming from the pitching coaching or their whole bullpen and lineup is just not as good as it seemed at the beginning of the season. But they need to figure that out, and then I think they have a good shot of being as good as we thought they would.
Another big factor playing into this is number one, projected number one overall pick in the MLB draft, Jace Laviolette or something. Something like that. He's only batting .225 with 1 double, 3 homers, and 9 hits. Wow. 9 hits. And as someone who's projected to be a number one pick and supposed to lead that kind of team, especially they were projected number one as well, and just putting up those numbers right now just isn't going to help either.
Yeah.
If you want a good closer, do not name your kid Clay or Clayton.
Yeah, that seems to be a problem.
Clayton Kershaw. Oh, he's not a closer.
Clayton Kershaw's also
Could be.
He could be.
He could be.
Yeah,
someday.
Yeah, something I've just noticed about this A&M team too is that they started off unbeaten. They started off 5-0. Ever since that last game of the Cal Poly series, they lost 4 straight in a row. They lost to Cal Poly, Texas State. They lost to Arizona with a 2-3 loss, and then they got blown out by Oklahoma State. They managed to come back and beat Rice by a lot, and then they lost to UTSA. So in the last 6 games, they've lost, I believe, 4 of them. And only
By the
won
way,
2.
UTSA is ranked 134th.
That's sad. That's actually bad.
Okay.
So I don't really. I think okay. Yeah. So I believe that this team is
Single
good.
tear down her eye.
Yeah, I definitely believe that this team is good. They're just clearly on a cold streak right now when it comes to pitching. Close games for them seem to be a destructive time bomb for them. Clearly, I mean, they're one of their only wins in the past few weeks. They had the other team beaten by 10 runs, 14-4. So definitely pitching's volatile for them right now. So they need to figure out something in that bullpen to rescue them out because, I mean, hits-wise, it seems like they're doing fine. I mean, they're getting at least 4 or 3 runs a game. That pitching, man's just killing them.
Yeah, I think they definitely still, have a lot of talent, and we know that. It's just no one is performing to the best of their ability right now. So I think I'm not they're terrible, they have no chance of, going to the College Baseball World Series. But I think they just need to, all start clicking and all start hitting and all start pitching well at the same time. Yeah.
What else we got?
All right, next up, we have what Katie likes to call the limp lineup, maybe injury report, bench bombers. We need a better name. Please
Battered
help.
batters.
Please help me. Anyway, a ton of tough injuries are spurring across the MLB. Giancarlo Stanton is out indefinitely. Both elbows? Really? You can't make that up. Next, we have Nick Gill is out for the next 6 weeks with a right lateral strain, and Sean Murphy will be out for the next 4 to 6 weeks with a fractured rib. What do you guys think?
So this is.
I just wanted to say something really quickly. So first, sorry about the slides. I thought that I fixed them right before, but I don't think they updated. So if y'all want to skip through, and then if y'all can go back, because this is yeah. Wait, one more. Okay.
We're spoiling
Perfect,
it all.
and then the next one.
We're spoiling it all.
Oh, man.
Perfect.
There we go.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Stanton first. So
Yeah, so this is the generic Yankees get hurt during spring training, and we have Giancarlo Stanton. Obviously, both of his elbows are messed up. The typical Giancarlo
Both is so
Stanton.
crazy.
Both elbows.
How do you get both of your
Wild.
elbows?
Both is both
Yeah.
elbows.
It was such a
Both
random-
elbows.
That's just
That
age
It
right
happened
there.
at once. I was trying to think of one way that could happen in one, at once. It was 2 separate things, right?
That is age right there.
How do you simultaneously injure both elbows? I can't think of a single motion you could do in baseball.
Arthritis?
That would
Hitting?
He's
he's
an older guy.
Both of them, though?
hyperextending.
I guess, but both of them at the same time. I don't know. That's insane to me.
My swing
What?
good, guys.
This gives a chance for our guy,
Ben Rice.
Ben Rice.
That's all I have.
Yeah.
We have 3 options here. We have Ben Rice.
Okay.
Okay, so
one
one
option.
option.
One option.
Ben
They're
Rice.
the same person.
I don't remember this option, but we have Spencer Jones as well, who has been absolutely raking it in spring training.
Yeah?
He's also built up some muscle in the offseason. And then we have, obviously, Lewis Hill going on different terms. He's injured for 3 months with the right lateral strain. This is Marcus Stroman's chance. I mean, Marcus Stroman has been complaining about wanting to be a starting pitcher for a while. Obviously, his mentality in the locker room is wrong. But, I mean, maybe we could get him to sway. I don't think so. I don't like him personally as a player, but
I see Stroman getting traded.
Yeah.
I don't. Who's taking him? I mean, we would have gotten rid of him already.
The Mets.
Anyway.
The Mets would take
Yeah,
Stroman.
the
That's
Mets
a
would,
great
the Mets
trade.
would take him.
Mets have
That's
been
a great
eyeing.
trade. Probably for nothing. It'd be one of those trades where it's like they send like basically nothing, and you're like, we got nothing for Stroman, but it kind of makes sense.
They still wouldn't have a good rotation, but like they could use him.
It'd
Yeah.
be something. They would start him, and he would be one of the more reliable guys they have, like comparatively.
That's a sad sentence to say.
Yeah.
man.
It's Kodai Senga and then Marcus Stroman.
That would be bad.
Yes.
That would be bad. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. Honestly, for the Yankees, I just wouldn't worry about this really that much. I mean, they still got a good team outside of those guys, so I mean, there's not too much to panic. It is spring training, so.
I mean, I would worry a little bit because we also have Scott Efros and Tommy Conley out in the reliever area. We obviously have to bolster there, and with Marcus Stroman moving to starter too, that's three people that you get out of the way. So I'd worry a little bit, but obviously we have our relievers that we signed, so I wouldn't.
Yeah.
worry too much.
Yeah.
I just think, like, before, the Yankees were just a clear choice winner for the AL, and I think with this it might not be as clear anymore, but they still are going to have a very, solid chance of obviously making it to the playoffs, but they're, like, less clearly, number one in the AL.
I still think they're a good team with all the free agent signings.
Still the best.
Too.
Still the best team in New York.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Wait, no, I have to disagree because I love the Mets.
No, I disagree
Okay.
too. I said that on the show that the Mets are better than the Yankees.
Okay.
No, but someone else can talk about Murphy too.
All I really want to say is I think that the most iconic moment on our show was when Drew said Ben Rice was a slugger. Like, I think that's the most
Yeah,
memorable
that
and
is-
amazing
that is the
moment.
biggest
And
moment.
so
he gained 10 pounds a week.
amazing. So
Muscle.
I mean,
Drew
yeah,
called
10
it back in
pounds of
October.
muscle,
Drew called it.
that should translate to 20, 30 more home runs than last season, I would say. Absolutely.
He plays.
I want to ask y'all genuinely, seriously, but you can also give me an unserious answer too. I don't really
Okay.
care. Do y'all think Ben Rice could be a starter in the MLB?
Yes.
A competent starter in the MLB?
It's
Like,
tough.
On the Mets, yeah.
hit 250 and give me like 15 home runs or something.
Tough
On the White
tough-
Sox,
tough
yeah.
competition.
It depends on how. I think it depends on how Goldie plays. I think it depends on when Giancarlo Stanton gets back because as of now, it's between.
Are we
Spencer-
saying,
Y'all
do
need
we
a
think
DH.
he legitimately has a chance of playing for the Yankees, or are we saying that if he just was a major league player right now, would he be good?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, okay, give me the most average team you can think of. Where would he start?
Miami Marlins.
Would he start on the Marlins? That's kind of what I'm
They're
asking.
the right now.
I would think so.
So would you say like he's because last year we were saying I was saying not we September call-ups watch list was where I was saying Ben Rice and now so would you say he's like an average he could be an average starter in the MLB that's in play for him? All right, cool. I'm just curious because he was kind of a joke. I feel like he's getting some opportunities to succeed now.
I think on other teams, teams that don't have as many star players, I think
I
you
got
could
you.
definitely see playing.
Yeah, that Yankees roster is just.
He
too
is collectively our favorite player on the show. Absolutely. Far and away. He is our hero.
He's our boy.
He used to be
It'd
this
be amazing to
skinny
see.
little guy, and now he's like bulked.
He's
bulked a
huge.
lot.
Yeah, exactly. He's
That
like
yoga-
you.
that yoga does
He's been
wonders.
getting bigger, and now he's awesome. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's all I have to say about the
Yeah,
injuries.
but
Love being compared to
yeah, definitely talk about the Murphy one. Yeah, this one is what I call we signed the wrong guy.
No, it wasn't a signing. It was a trade. It is the worst trade Alex Anthopoulos has done in his era with the Braves. We gave up. I'll never forget this day because it was during whenever we were talking about Dansby Swanson leaving, and so I get a notification that we traded for Sean Murphy, but for who? And so I thought we were trading. So we traded William Contreras, who is now a top 5 catcher in the league.
That's bad.
Traded William Contreras to the Brewers, and I thought we were going to get Willie Adames back for to replace Dansby Swanson. No, we only got Sean Murphy, and then we traded a bunch of prospects, and then all that William Contreras, and Sean Murphy had one good half. The first half of 2023 made the All-Star team and has fallen off the face of the planet. Started off 2024 injured for the first 2-3 months, and then now he's going to start off this season injured for the first 1-2 months.
Yeah.
He's not a good player. He hasn't.
not good.
Hasn't been good at all for us. And
At best, he's average.
Yeah, exactly. At best, and I'd say he's below
his
average. He's a
defense.
below average
His
catcher.
defense is good.
Yeah.
When he's on the field.
he produces no offense. So, like, honestly, I don't really care that much because I do care because now we have Drake Baldwin as our number 1 catcher after losing Darno, which we should have never gotten rid of Darno.
We didn't sign anyone with the money. When we didn't re-sign Darno, I was like, let's see what we do with the money. We didn't do anything.
Darno is way
Profar.
better than Sean
But
Murphy.
yeah, I mean that's it though. Profar and Darno would have been a bad free agent class, and we didn't even re-sign Darno.
Travis Darno is way better than Sean Murphy, and
Absolutely.
I would have much rather had him than
I think he's a
Sean
little
Murphy.
better. Yeah.
Darno's more clutch than Murphy.
And he's a better team leader. He was one of our team leaders, and it had been there like for a while.
I
At
liked
least since the
watching
World
Darno a
Series.
lot more than I do.
Absolutely.
Sean Murphy. Absolutely.
Yeah, ever since we signed him,
Sean Murphy makes me mad.
yeah,
I don't like watching him.
It's like every time I look.
got an arm
It's
on
like every time I look online, it's like, oh, he's hurt again. Like you never see him on the field except for the first half of 2023, and then since then, you haven't seen much of him because he's been hurt half the time.
Yeah. I feel like catchers are always those players that are just really hard to watch play because normally catchers just are not the best batters.
Because
know,
if you're
they're
good
there
at
for their
hitting, you're
defense.
not going to be a catcher. Like I feel like a
Right.
catcher is usually someone that's like, I can't hit. The only way I
Right.
make the team is by doing this really
Oh
uncomfortable
yeah, no,
position.
I remember our years with Martin Maldonado, and all the pitchers loved him. And then he would be up here batting like 71, and I would be like, what are
Oh my
we doing?
God.
All the pitchers
Like-
love Travis Darno.
Yeah.
Jose Trevino used to be like that too. He would on some off seasons he would always be like really poor.
Really, I mean, like
Just
Murphy to the IL. I mean, give Drake Baldwin the chance. See what happens. He can be our number 9. I don't care. Our lineup's fine.
Yeah, our hitting is so good. I'm
It's
not
fine.
super scared. Yeah.
I mean, like Arcia 8, Baldwin 9, but first 7.
1 through
we're good.
7 is
we're fine.
1 through 7 could be the best in baseball next year.
Whenever Acuna
Yeah.
whenever Acuna gets back, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Oh God, we need.
we just got to fill in that catcher spot with someone reliable. Murphy's not reliable.
Womp womp.
Hey, Maura.
All right,
segment.
and next we have everyone's favorite, the 3 to see. Some big names with even bigger quotes this week. Let's break them down. Justin Turner on the Mariners. If I was the only piece they brought back in, I don't think they brought.
It's hard to pronounce.
And I would be saying the same thing. Am I allowed to? What the hell are we doing? Are you trying? Does Turner have a point, or is this an overreaction?
We can read it.
I didn't know if I was allowed to say that.
Turner definitely has.
Wait, so
point.
should we reread that quote?
Oh,
did. I think she got
sure.
it.
We did? Okay, we're good?
No, I didn't botch it. I just
Yeah,
I forgot
she
to
got
put
it
a
out. She got
space.
it out,
So-
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we're
okay.
good.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has a point. Last year, the Mariners were only 3.5 games back of the Astros for first place. You know, they had a legitimate shot of, being contenders this year, and they threw it all away in the offseason. Like, I remember, what was it, 2022 maybe? Their playoff run was so good, and
So
their team was
fun.
so good. And I thought, they had a lot of hope for the future, and here they are just throwing it all away. I feel bad for J-Rod.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
He's
yes.
definitely been wasted on that team right now.
Yeah.
Yes, I did really like that team in 2022. Like, it was such a fun, young team, and they had just snapped that 20-year-long playoff drought.
Yes.
And they missed the playoffs by 1 game last year, and they were only they came in second behind the Astros, and with the Astros kind of teetering on the
Yeah,
edge,
no, that's
they
exactly what I said.
they
With-
totally could have a chance.
No,
to
no, with
take
all that the
division.
Astros lost this offseason,
They should run that division.
based off of where the Astros were last year to where they are this year, they're definitely going to lose 3.5 more games. So if the Mariners could have just stayed as good as they were last year, re-signed those people, and if they could have added a few more pieces, they had such an easy shot of winning the AL West.
And then they have such a strong rotation. Like Justin Turner argued, it was a top rotation in baseball with Luis
really is.
Castillo,
really
Logan Gilbert, and George Kirby. And I would say they just really needed 1 to 2 more impact bats to
They needed Bregman.
put them over. Or someone was talking. Justin Turner mentioned he wished they went after Pete Alonso.
That'd been
Ooh,
good.
that would have been a good one as well.
yeah.
J-Rod reminds me a lot of Giannis Antetokounmpo.
In what way?
And the way that he's the man on the Mariners, and he's not getting support that he needs, so they always just finish barely short of the line.
But aren't the Bucks really good?
Yeah, Giannis won a championship. Giannis contended for.
Well, now they
I
are.
mean,
Also,
But
like,
back when
talking about
he
the
first on there, he wasn't
Yeah.
that.
J-Rod had like he's not been bad, but he's not been like crazy good.
Yeah, he really hasn't. But like every time
But,
I
like
see him,
in
I
my
feel like
mind, he's
really
crazy
good.
good,
Yes.
but he's like not
In
like
my mind, he's like a superstar, but he's just
Yeah.
not.
So hyped up.
He was.
He
Yeah, he
was.
was hyped up out of his mind. They're a really good team, and they have so much potential with that young team that they have and the young core. They needed Bregman, or they needed some older guy on the team to get them over that edge. If they would have signed Bregman and Alonso, they definitely would have won their division. They might even made it to the AL championship. That's how far I'm.
Anyone can make it to
go.
the AL.
At this point, yes.
There's no good teams in the AL.
Besides the
Nope.
Yankees.
That's not.
That's
And the
it's
Astros.
true. It's
Yeah.
true.
Katie.
Astros
the
are a
Astros still
stretch.
considered top 5 in the
Yeah.
AL.
No,
They're just
the
not
Astros
consistent.
are
and
the
good
best team in
as a
baseball.
The
franchise.
Astros considered the best in their division.
Not anymore.
The Astros are the best
say
team
that
in
anymore.
baseball.
Yeah, just really sad to see this Mariners team struggle. I mean, they have no strategy at this point when it comes to trading and off-season. There's nothing there that I can say that they're trying to win off of.
Is it sad or happy to see the Astros downfall? I
Happy.
will say.
Happy because
Happy.
he gets so
I would
emotional
say-
about it.
No,
See, like, look at that face. It's happy. It's
He's
hilarious.
sleeping
Okay.
through it. I want to talk about this.
We can talk about football instead.
Yes.
All right,
I mean,
Mara.
I was
no,
like,
wait,
through that
wait,
too.
Go to Roki first. Next.
Oh, word?
Oh.
I'm gonna let Katie introduce that one.
Okay, great. Yeah, sorry about these slides. I tried to change them last minute to, and then I don't think it like updated on y'all's end. But anyways, we're gonna talk about Roki Sasaki now. There we go.
There we go.
Y'all are doing great. Thank you.
Zach Black in the back.
So-
Shout out.
Sasaki had his
Yeah, he's in the back.
his first outing, that we've seen in the major leagues. Can
Yeah.
we say
Yep.
that?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know
outing
if we could say
in the
that
show.
since it's like spring training.
In America.
In the
Right,
show.
yeah. But anyways, he pitched
Joe.
for 3 innings. He had 5 strikeouts, and he topped out at 99, but it was against the Reds.
Boo.
So what are our
boring.
thoughts?
Where's our whiteboods?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Our whiteboard.
We don't
I'll
need
get
it. We don't need it.
I'll get one for me. That's it.
No, Kaden, we don't need.
I'll just get one.
Okay, sure.
Well, I'll just say that I'm
not gonna use it.
this impressed about this because it's the Reds, and the only good player on that team, good, strong word, is Ellie De La Cruz, and he lined a double off of him, first
Right.
pitch double off of him. So
Right.
like the only
Oh my God.
he was rated a 93 on MLB The Show.
Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah.
Well, he is the cover athlete,
He's,
right?
I could
he's the cover guy.
They're gonna put him high. He's the
Yeah.
cover athlete. They're not gonna
And
make
Juan
89.
Soto is a
Correct.
99. Juan
so is
Soto's a
Aaron Judge.
99. I get that, but Juan Soto's a 99. No, he's not.
What's up,
once I hear
99.
one
Highest paid player in baseball. Of course, he's gonna be 99.
once I hear a single person
Money doesn't
that
mean-
plays MLB The Show that disagrees with Ellie's rating, I'll have that argument.
I'll
but
disagree
until
with the
then.
fact that they have so many 99 rated players, though.
I also disagree with
3.
that. I don't like their scaling system.
That's a lot. Like,
Yeah.
There's like 5 a year.
Well, I mean, yeah, they only need 2 because Juan Soto's not a 99.
How many
rated
does
player.
NBA have?
So 2K does like I don't know. 2K hasn't had one like 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that
Really?
skill better. Yeah, 'cause-
They don't have one every
Yeah,
year.
when you look at because they want to do like an all-time historical look. So like they want like 2016 Russell Westbrook and like 1 year of LeBron James was like a 99 overall season. They don't want to mitigate the like.
So MLB's just like, oh, here's a 99.
Madden's worse, but the MLB is bad about it too.
I'm not a fan of that.
It's trash.
Wow. Yeah, they actually don't have a 99. The highest is 98. That's
You
great.
got to break some records. You have to have a historic season. You know?
Yeah, and that's just not Juan Soto, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
just giving
Fair.
out 99s to everyone at this
But
point.
anyways, back to
Oh, yeah,
Sasaki's
yeah.
outing.
Speaking of 99,
Oh.
he went for. Oh, where you go?
No, I just
Go ahead,
wanted to bring
Drew.
us back on
Go-
topic, but like,
Go ahead.
while we're off topic, continue being. Oh, it's on topic.
99 pitches.
Oh, okay.
99 pitches,
No.
miles an hour.
Oh, I thought he
That's how
went for
long this
99.
takes.
We're struggling.
It was a
99
good- I'm
pitches in
high-fiving
3
you.
innings.
It was a good.
That's
it was a good
a lot of
transition.
pitches in 3 innings.
Dude, that's so
No,
bad.
that was a good transition. Speaking of 99,
It's like
Roki
33
Sasaki
pitches
pitched
in
99 pitches.
99.
He did
And
pitch
it's
99.
Not
innings
good.
worth- It's like 2 innings worth of pitching.
99
Like,
pitches in spring training. Ooh.
I would have been like, no, because I was going
No, that's what my brain went to too. So I'm stupid too. Topped out at 99. I genuinely thought 99 pitches.
Topped out means like.
That's like miles an hour. Yeah, no.
It is.
That means like the pitch
That's
speed.
fair. Yeah, It is. Top down.
Whip is how the ball moves. That's my bad, guys.
Okay, well, anyway.
Hey, great job, Roki Sasaki. You're definitely supposed to be top
Good job,
100
Reuben.
prospect.
Yeah, good job.
forever.
Who cares? It was one game. That's all I have to say about it.
That's
why I got the whiteboard.
Yeah.
He's only pitching one more time. I
Yeah,
heard.
March 11th.
Yeah.
March 11th.
I mean, hey, I mean, look at the positive of this. They pull him from the Japanese league for a pretty good contract, and he's considered the top 100 baseball players in the league, and he does good in his first outing. I mean, yes, it's against the Reds, but yet again, they went inside him, they took a chance on him, and he produced in his first outing. So
Yeah.
this is a good thing for the Dodgers.
I think it's about like what I would kind of expect from his first outing. You know, any pitcher's first outing is probably not going to be amazing. After it, he said, talking about like, you know, just adjusting to the hitters in the MLB, he said they do hit mistakes and they take some of the splits I throw. So I think it'll be a bit of an adjustment for him for sure, but I think he'll end up being fine.
I mean, if he sees it and adjusts to it, yeah, he's going to do really well in the league.
All right, and last but not least, we have Travis Hunter, this year's Heisman winner, states playing both sides in football is more difficult than what Shohei Ohtani does in baseball.
No.
That's hilarious.
I hate the phrasing.
Shut him down.
I hate the take.
That's so funny.
I have a lot to say, but I can go last. This
Go,
time.
okay.
Oh, you mean I can go now too? I don't really care.
You go now because you
Okay.
know the most about it.
So,
Yeah.
all right, yeah. So, I followed football for a very long time. All right, I hate the saying, and I hate the phrasing. I hate the take because doing what Ohtani does in the NFL, I would say would be harder than doing what Ohtani does at Ohtani's level. Okay, Ohtani's a top what pitcher? Top 5 pitcher, top 10 pitcher. What would you say?
10.
Top 10 pitcher
10,
and
top 5.
top 2 hitter in the MLB. If you were like a 17 sack season Micah Parsons edge rusher and also was like a Josh Allen, Mahomes, or Lamar Jackson quarterback, I think that would be more difficult in terms of the preparation and what you have to do on a week-to-week basis.
He's not even
But
close.
he's
College.
what his statements of playing both sides in football is more difficult than what Shohei Ohtani does. Sure, fine, I guess. If you're doing it at Ohtani's level in the professionals level, sure. He isn't doing that. He's talking about himself. He's at Colorado. He's at the Big 12, okay? Corner is the hardest position to play in football. I will stand by that strongly. But receiver might be one of the easiest positions to play. And the Big 12 is an easy conference. It's not, like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Even if he did it in the NFL and was fine, that's amazing and that's admirable. But Ohtani is one of the most overworldly athletes of our generation. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, Travis Hunter, I don't even think he's going to play 2 positions in professional. He's
Is
probably
he even trying
not
out?
gonna be able to.
Didn't he
He's
like
trying
only
to.
tried out for wide receiver?
They did a press conference and they asked him, what are you going to play? And he said, I'm playing both. And they were like, okay, but if they made you play one, he was like, it's up to them. I feel like I can play both. He was like, I'm not answering that
If he
question.
plays 2 positions, he will get torched by like the 3rd quarter. He will be so tired, and that league is just way too different. You
Would you
cannot play
think-
2 positions.
Would you think like the amount of activity that you do in the NFL is way more than college, or you think college is more?
In the NFL, so
NFL's
college works the players harder because they're all like, when you come in at 18, you want to like work on your frame and your physique more so. If you're 28 years old in the NFL, it's more about like the film and like the walkthroughs and building strategy because you're already ripped enough to play in the NFL. When you come in as Travis Hunter came in as a freshman, sophomore, junior, he didn't have the body or physique to play at the NFL level, so getting there is a hard process. So I'd say it's more difficult to go through college than the NFL, but the NFL players are just better, and so therefore he's not gonna be able to rise up to that occasion or that talent.
Well, he did play like lower Division I
Yeah.
football for like the first 2
And
years. He's only had 2 years at the big Division I level, and yet again, really wasn't that all great.
He was amazing, and in his conference against weak competition, he did great. He struggled more against bigger schools. I think he's a really good prospect. I think he's an overrated prospect, but I think he's a first-round prospect for sure. I don't think you can argue with that.
Did you see that
this
bowl?
statement
Did you
is
see that bowl
absolutely
game?
absurd.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm.
That bowl
that's-
game
Yeah,
is giving me.
BYU.
Yeah, BYU of all teams.
If he
BYU got cooked.
If he torched Oregon and BYU, I'd probably have him first overall
wasn't
pick.
even
Like, and he did not. That yeah,
It wasn't even
it was horrible.
No, that game was bad.
BYU figured him out. His rookie season, and that's the last thing I'll say. Every NFL coach's rookie season will be watching BYU film on how to stop Travis Hunter, and I think it'll be effective.
It's just the thing that like I wholeheartedly
figured it
believe
out.
that if Travis Hunter went onto a baseball field, he's not touching a 100-mile-per-hour pitch.
It's a
If
great
Shohei Ohtani goes to the football field, he's catching a pass.
Honestly, I'll take that.
He's not catching a pass?
I think he would catch a pass.
He'll catch a pass. I don't think Travis Hunter's
It is.
baseball.
It is widely argued and most likely true that hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in a sport.
Otani's not. No, I think receiver's easier than hitting, but corner's harder than hitting. I think Travis Hunter's
Pitching.
getting a hit.
Pitching.
That's a really, really hard thing to evaluate.
Pitching.
Corners.
Throwing 100 miles an hour and having a 3 ERA.
Corner's the hardest position in football. I think it's harder than quarterback. It's a very difficult position. That's not for this show, but I can go on a rant about it.
Baseball, for one, is definitely one of the hardest sport to play.
Hitting a baseball is one of the hardest things to do.
Baseball is the hardest sport.
Yes.
It was actually recently a quote by Chad Johnson, who was a standout wide receiver in the NFL, and he recently said that the two most difficult things in life are hitting a baseball and keeping a woman happy. Travis Hunter can't do either.
I saw
Travis
that.
Hunter literally cannot do
Can't
either.
do
Have you
either.
seen his girlfriend? Not that great.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't seem like she's very happy all the time.
You know, fun fact. That
So,
guy,
yeah.
that guy
Yeah.
can eat a whole apple.
With one bite. Yeah, his mouth is so big.
Wow.
Hey, no, I made that up myself. Okay, we don't have to
but
credit Maura for
Anyways,
that.
what I think I found most interesting, I was reading an article and they were like, I could think of multiple guys
the worst
that could probably play both offense and defense in football. But nobody could do what Otani's doing. Nobody has done what Otani is doing, and nobody probably will do what Otani is doing.
Absolutely.
He truly is a once-in-a-lifetime player, and there is nobody like him. Whereas for, playing both sides in football, Travis Hunter could potentially do it, but I think there's also, some guys that could probably also do it, but are choosing just to focus on offense or on defense.
And again, corner and receiver is not, relative to otherworldly 1 in a million human beings, corner and receiver is not that hard. I think if he was an edge rusher and quarterback, that's such a different conversation. If he was a corner and a left tackle, oh my God, that's crazier than Otani for sure. But corner and receiver versus pitcher and batter is absolutely insane. That's not comparable. It's hilarious.
It's definitely wild when one of the best receivers of the 2000s comes out and says that hitting a baseball is one of the hardest things in life, and Travis Hunter thinks it's relatively easy.
So many
insane.
professional athletes from other sports like the NBA, NFL,
Anthony Edwards.
Donovan Mitchell also said it. Donovan Mitchell, they all say that hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do, and all of them play their own professional sport, and they still think baseball is the most difficult.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. Here's an interesting question. Who do you think would probably be? Who would you give more effort to, or say what's the hardest thing to do? Playing two sides of the ball on
Keep a woman happy.
one sport, or that as well, or if someone played two different sports and were average play,
Like
Like Deion Sanders.
like Deion Sanders, like Deion Sanders or Travis Hunter.
I think it's easier to play two different sports.
But make it professionally like Dion?
I think that would be easier, yeah.
Wait.
Are we talking about?
Sanders did?
I think
I disagree.
wide receiver and corner is an outlier. Besides that, I think it's easier to play wide receiver and corner, and then two sports, and then any other sport, two positions.
I will say that playing two different sports and making it to a professional level is very difficult and is
yeah.
impressive.
Bo
Yeah,
Jackson
that's
did it.
very
You think about
crazy
it.
because at least for Otani, he's doing both sides of the ball, but he can do it at the same time because it's both in the MLB. If he was trying to be in two completely different leagues at the same time, or not at the same time, but doing a few years of one league and doing a few years of another league, that's crazy.
Above my bed at home is a Deion Sanders Falcons and Braves jersey framed. Yeah,
That's
Is
actually
it signed?
they're not signed.
Oh my God, take it
Sanders.
off.
Oh yeah, word. I put it when I was 14. Yeah, and it's just still up there.
Yeah,
It's bolted.
this argument that I just do not like it at all. Travis Hunter honestly is not even that great at either position. He's kind of average at both. Let's just
We'll talk about that off air.
Yeah, I personally I don't think he's that really.
He's not
flashy.
winning an MVP award.
No.
In the NFL.
Yeah,
He should have won the Heisman.
Talk about that later.
It should have gone to Genty, and that's a whole other
agree.
conversation I'll get into out of this show. But yeah, this is just.
Just have a college football.
I do love the ego though. Corners should be delusional, and that you have to have that type of ego because you got to get burnt and still think you're the best. So if I'm a draft evaluator, I like this quote, but it's delusional. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, if Travis Hunter decides to play both sides of the ball in the NFL, he will go down as one of the biggest draft busts, guarantee you. If he tries to play both sides of the ball at the same time, he'll go down as a huge draft
I just
bust.
think
We don't got time.
it's probably hard to just dedicate.
Down to one sport.
What?
Well, it's difficult.
No, I was just saying it's a lot easier to focus on one thing when you're having to dole out your time to try to be good at both things. You're gonna be worse at both than you could just be
Exactly.
at one.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, good.
There's no way he doesn't know that what he said was dumb. There's no way he genuinely, like, a month later.
You think he's Angel Reesing? Think he just like
my
rage
God.
baiting?
Yes.
Just saying,
Yes.
just saying fake
Sure.
things because he's getting a lot of attention.
He
Yeah,
wants
it's
his draft
working.
stock to go.
Yeah, and I mean it's gonna get a lot of attention. Yeah, but we can wrap it up too. But to what you
Yeah.
said, just real fast, like baseball is different than football in another way too, because like baseball, you play 162 games, and strategically and in terms of game planning, there is less to account for in baseball than there is in football. So like with baseball, you don't have to practice all the time in order to figure out how to beat the Reds, how to beat the Yankees and stuff. It's usually just about there's analytical elements to it, but it's not as strategic. It's not as much of a chess match as football. Travis Hunter. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is going to have a lot to learn about each position. And he's going to have to be in the practice facility and in the film room as much as a coach to do both positions. And I don't think any human being can do that and also condition themselves.
Wait,
So,
I don't know if I'm going along with your point, but I think
that's
I
obvious.
think that like playing and performing how Ohtani does every single day is way more impressive than Travis Hunter doing it once a week.
Yeah, that's.
You also have to watch a lot
I
of
was just saying
film
that Travis Hunter won't be able to prepare for both positions accordingly. is
Yeah,
all I was
no,
saying.
yeah, because there's
Well,
a lot more to learn
Exactly.
in football than in baseball.
Yeah.
It was also that. But I was like, when's the last time we've seen like a guy play on both sides of the ball in the NFL? It's been a while.
Jabril Peppers tried
What about
out.
it? What about
Deion
baseball? Same
Sanders did
thing.
it for a
Yeah,
while.
baseball. You see it.
I mean,
Ohtani-
Deion's the example. He was
Ohtani's a generational talent. Travis Hunter is a college dude that got lucky and hype.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later, Jackson.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right, well, that's all for today. We'll be back next week with more rumors, theories, and the latest baseball news. A big thanks to Jordan, Grant, and Connor in the studio, and all our amazing panelists. Catch you next time on Touching All Bases.